Hey everybody, it's Jen. This video is going to talk very quickly about estimating and rounding with fractions. And again, this is not anything that's new. We've done this math a couple of times before. We've done lots of estimating and rounding with decimals and with whole numbers. Now we're just going to talk about how we might do that with fractions. So in general, when you're asked to estimate or round a fraction, you're going to be given a choice of numbers to estimate toward. So usually it's going to be, is this fraction closer to 0? Is it close to 1/2? Or is it close to 1? And you might see that expressed in different ways. Like you might see, is this close to 5? Is it closer to 6? You know, where does it fall? All of this is just about us thinking about fractions on a number line or thinking about them visually and trying to figure out if they're closer to a whole number or nothing. So let's look at something like 1/8 and figure out how we would round that. So is 1/8 closer to 0, 1/2, or 1? Okay. So what I might do is draw a number line. Okay, and I'm going to put 1 down here on the end, and I'm going to put 0 over here. And then if I'm estimating, I'm going to take whatever my denominator is and divide this up by 8. So that's divided by 4, and now I'm dividing by 8. So I have 8 numbers going up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. So then I know that 1/8 falls right here, right? 1/8. Which means on this number line, I can see that it is very close to 0. So if I were rounding or estimating, I would round 1/8 over to 0. Now, if I want to just be able to estimate and look at that number and guess where it's close to, then I really need to think about these numbers and how they relate. So 1/8. Well, 1 is much smaller than 8, right? So this is a very tiny piece of whatever I'm talking about. So if I'm talking about apparently a lopsided pizza, I'd be thinking, all right, 1/8 means 1 slice out of 8. So that means almost the rest of the whole pizza is gone. It's just this one left. So that's how I could think about, oh, this is closer to, and we use the wavy lines to estimate, it's about 0. It's closer to 0. Now, if I'd been given 5/8, then I might think of pizza again and say, okay, 5 out of 8. Well, that's a lot. It's not the whole pizza, but it's pretty close to half of a pizza, right? So I might say, well, 5/8 rounds pretty closely to a half. And this might be really useful if you're working on a problem, like if you're adding up, say, 5/8 and 1/8. You could think about it and say, well, this is close to a half, this is close to not very much, so my answer should be a little bit over a half of a pizza. And then you add them up and you find it's 6/8. You're like, okay, yeah, that worked out right. So this is where estimating and rounding come in useful with fractions, just so you can picture in your mind, am I close to 0? Am I close to 1? Am I close to a whole pizza? What's happening here? So you'll probably see some questions on the exam that ask you to say whether a fraction is closer to 1 or 0. And this is just the way you think about it. Let me know if you have any questions.